Welcome back, traders and investors. We have Fari Hamzei of Hamzei Analytics here. How you doing today, Fari?
Pretty good. Good morning, Joel. Good morning, Dennis.
How's it going, Fari? We're looking here in the
Pretty good.
market.
Pretty.
What do you think of that Google report? Because they
Jesus.
sold the whole thing off all the way down, and they've almost got all the losses back. What's your thoughts here on the Google monster?
Well, we missed our target because we had a lotto on, and it was way up. We were in line with what they had done in the past. But of course, we didn't expect it to get beaten up like this. So that trade of ours of course, it was lotto. I think we put in 27 cents or something like that. It's gone, but it would have been a very, very nice return. Would be probably if we had gone it right, it would be close to maybe 2,500% return, but didn't happen. That's why it's a lotto. On the other side, Goldman Sachs is also in the problem because we were bearish on that, but bullish on Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley is up 3%, and that's very nice. So this is earnings season. It's a binary. Either you get it right or you don't. That's why you bet small and careful.
And so, how did you play the Morgan Stanley?
Was a call spread, and Goldman was a put spread. We usually do spreads. Sometimes we do outright. I'm sorry, one of them could have been outright. I have to take a look. But we do every once in a while we do outrights, given that what the pricing is and how the volatility is. The one we really did not get into, we wanted to badly, was IBM. Problem there was we are out of time. Google, believe it or not, maybe I shouldn't say it on the air, but as of, let's say, 12 o'clock yesterday, there was a discussion back and forth at the floor. Should we be trading GOG or GOGL? And and the futures exchange had a difference of opinion with the options exchange. And then these guys are across the street from each other. And I know this is the first EPS since the split, but by God, please, let's not be that confused, especially at that level of experience and professionalism of these two exchanges. So we waited. Now I wanted to get the Google right, so we actually put it on GOGL, but we lost time. There's so much you can do in an hour or so of putting several trades on. We passed on PEP. I'm sorry?
No, I was talking to Nick Shaheen about that too, and I just told him I just kind of I've lost a feel for that stock since they split it in two. Whenever I look at them, I'm adding the two numbers together to see where the stock is really at. It is kind of confusing, and now the guys on the floor is confused as well too. So that's an interesting point you made.
As a matter of fact, on the future side, they didn't correct their data until last evening. Because we also look at what the futures are telling us, the future single stock futures.
Really? You do look at those,
yeah,
huh?
that didn't get clear until after the close. And I was looking at it because we run them on Excel sheets with what's called the RTD. You get a data flow into the Excel because charts will help you so much, but really you need analytical tools. And as I was looking at the futures SSF, single stock futures on Google, it swapped. It went from GOG to GOGL. And all the documentation that sent me at around noon yesterday was pointing at GOG. Anyhow, it was not a pleasant one, but we did talk to our client base through the chat, explaining it as each step was going because there was a delay. And the problem is which one you're going to go after and why.
Yeah.
One of my key moderators, he says, Fari, we had to go with GOOGL. And he was right. But I said, look, the authority is the exchange. And you need to get the right wording here to get it right. And it also turns out SIBO uses GOOGL for their VIX equivalent. There's a VIX equivalent for Google. They're already swapped over. It was funny that one side of the street was on the GOOGL. The other side was on the old one, GOOG. So
well,
here we have it.
It's difficult enough to trade that stock, and that with being at high price and everything, and then having that kind of confusion. We had some really choppy action earlier in the week here. Just 2 times in a row we had just crazy 20, 30, 40 point sell-offs, V bottoms, and the market coming back. Totally got me leaning the wrong way, as far as my, short-term outlook on the market. How did you interpret that? I mean, what was that on? Was that on Monday and Tuesday?
We were not immune either. We were all kind of looking at the charts, looking at simple, Edwards and McGee, TNA stuff that you look at.
Correct.
It was confusing there too, especially actually the action on Tuesday. Why? We came down, we cut through 50 bar on the S&P, SPX cash. We came back up and we touched the 50 bar from the bottom during the day. Before the reversal, this is Tuesday, before all that yen intervention. That created a very, very, very bearish pattern, saying that, you know what, we may be looking at the abyss because of you made a new high, came back down, bounced off the 50 bar. This was last week. Went over the 20 bar, dropped heavy on, that would be on Friday, correct? Yeah. No, I'm sorry, it would be Thursday. We dropped heavy on Thursday. Friday even, we went to -3 sigma, bounced back a little bit on Monday, and then midday Tuesday, our high of the day had touched 50 bar, and the activity was red. So you look at that, you say, holy mackerel. This is, we're going to be going out, at least I was looking at 1765 area, which is 200 bar. And all of a sudden, I took a break. This is a Chicago. You get union breaks. So I took a break to get some fresh air. Came back, totally different ballgame. And now, yesterday, the low was just below 50 bar, and we closed above 20 bar. That's very bullish. Now, mind you, I sent a copy of my Sunday night market bias email to Kyle and Jason over at your shop, just for transparency. We said and I was just looking at purely where we are as of Friday night. I said, you know what, this looks like a bounce. It looks like a bounce. Let's see how we should play. And I said, but it was two red bars. We always have a 3-day rule. 3 red bars down, touching 3 sigma, that's a good buy. But we had only got 2. So I said, this is the lucky part. I said, look, wait 1 day and then buy the market. Go to your charts. Monday is kind of inside day, but it's green. And then buy the market. Look at Tuesday. Took off. And here we are.
Yeah.
And now, let's see, we're up on the Globex about what?
3 points. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trading above.
The other thing is that seasonality. Remember, always when we have a shortened week and like a holiday into it, either Friday, usually on a Friday, if you have a shortened week with a Friday off, there is a upside bias and played out. That was one thing. The other issue was I was looking and I was telling people, listen, this is expiration. We usually get a reversal over most recent trend. Reverse that. Why? Because people have loaded up on one side. Okay, by reversing, they have to load the other side, and one side gets wiped out. So puts will go away, and the old calls were already were dead because of the puts. Now, what happened this week? That usually happens on Wednesdays. What happened this week? It's 4 days. So you have to, what's the expiration is today. So you have to shift back 1 day. Again, the reversal happened on Tuesday.
Okay.
And looking here this morning, Fari, we just had the imbalances, the pre-market imbalances coming out. They are all heavy to the buy side, as big as you can get really on individual stocks here. And when those 830 imbalances did come out, I noticed the S&P futures, we were trading red. We're now up 3.5 points here. And if these imbalances do hold, and obviously some funny things happen on the expiration. Sometimes they get offset right before the open. But right now we're looking like on the individual stocks, they're going to open way higher if these were to hold. Obviously, we don't know, and we still have 45 minutes for those numbers to get offset. But what do you see?
Where are you seeing unusual imbalance right now?
General Electric, $1 million to buy. I'm seeing Citigroup, 274,000 to buy. JP Morgan, 411,000 to buy. Wells Fargo, 500,000 to buy. Pfizer, 700,000 to buy. Verizon, 400,000 to buy. AT&T, 487,000 to buy. These are typically 40,000. They almost like they all got an extra zero on them. But I do know from experience trading these option expirations, sometimes you'll see all these imbalances and you think even at 925, they're all still huge and you think it's going to open higher. And then all of a sudden, other institutions come in, offset them all, and we don't even open up hardly at all, or they flip and reverse on you too. So funny things happen. But right now, I noticed it did drive the S&P futures higher at 8:30 here when these imbalances started to break. So.
Well, you just hit the key note there. These imbalances are it's like non-farm payroll. The data series itself is noisy and subject to a lot of last-minute adjustment or reversals. Yes. Right now, the number of my universe I look at, the high betas of OEX and SPX, they're about 50-50. So 50% is red, 50% is green. So it's kind of a so-so from the universe I look at. It's not the full universe. For example, I never look at Verizon. But it's just the fact that we don't trade those. But the ones we trade right now, it's about 50-50. So it's a so-so opening here, the way I see it.
Okay, Fari, I wanted to go in and I need you to email your address because I need to send you a bowl of soup, a can of soup, because
wait a second, we never got to 38.80. We got very close. The low was 39.68, I believe. 38.80 would be all-time low.
Okay, all right, Fari.
Right. So you got a reprieve, and guess what happened? This is when these guys don't make money. All right. Here's my thing about Twitter. I hope you're listening. They're not making money, okay, or barely, in terms of the income is very low, but barely money is coming in. They can't fix their API. They went to API 1.1, and they messed up a lot of people, including us. You go to their forum, they're still not giving any responses of when it's going to get fixed, and then they're going by data service or data company, and that's what saved them, right? When that news came that they're buying that data company, this thing surged up. Otherwise, it was being double flushed. That's what Seinfeld calls courtesy flush.
All right, Fari, I got to be honest with you because I had to bet that when it was at 42.80, I thought we had 3 points each way. I had 45.80 and you had 39.80. And it went down
to 38.80.
It went down to 39.
No, that's okay. Listen, 38.80. Listen, I thought it was not going to make it. Remember, I told I know you were busy in the heat of the battle, so I tweeted to Dennis and I said, Dennis, please tell him to turn on his iPhone because we had a couple of super Hornets above circling trying to deliver soup to the whole block. So, to the Navy plane.
But Fari, I owe you
use your iPhone as a homing device.
Okay, but I would owe you the soup if
now you do.
All right, I guess I'm gonna have to get your email and get this straight out.
Who won this
he won the bet.
Don't worry about it. It's a wash.
What do you think of Twitter now?
I was looking at 38.80. Unless my charts are wrong. I believe the all-time low is 38.80. We never got there.
No, you're right.
I think 39.68.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna amend the bet, and I need 46.80 to win. Then how about we do that? Because we were going to go.
Let me look at my chart.
Fari, you're confusing me again. Oh my gosh! What do you think?
Look at the chart. Wait a second. What do you mean I'm confusing you again?
I just admit that you won a bet, and now you're telling me I didn't win the bet. You didn't win the bet.
I'm just testing you. This is all about game theory. I'm testing you.
You're testing me, the psychology to pick. Okay.
We were talking about the random walk theory working again, Fari. Are you a believer in the random walk theory from 1953? The last 3 days, this market.
I was his student. That was his first. Burton Malkiel was my first econ professor. So do I believe that? I mentioned it as a thank you on my abouts page. So as one of my professors,
thank you.
of course, I do believe that. But the ETFs and indexing obviously changes all the ballgame. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
So it's not as pure as it used to be.
Okay. All right.
But we still have the monkeys, and we still have the darts.
Okay. All right, Fari. Thanks a lot for coming on. I need your address so I can send you a can of soup.
It'll
No
be
worries.
Campbell's.
No worries. It's on my website, so I'll shoot it to you. No
Okay.
problem at all.
All right. Have a
Thanks for your
good
time,
trade
folks.
day, good holiday. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay,
Yes,
Fari.
sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.